Hey spooky friends, welcome back to my channel. I do apologize. It's been a hot minute since I posted anything. I have been sick, like on and off. It was weird. Like I know no one cares, but like I care to explain myself. I got sick for my daughter, and naturally my daughter is sick for like a day and she's fine, and then when I get whatever she gets, and I'm like on my deathbed for like a solid 2 weeks. Makes no sense, but hi, I'm back. Hopefully, I don't get sick anytime soon, but welcome back to my channel. And if you guys are new here, hi, my name is Kelly, and I am obsessed with all things spooky. I love me a good ghost story, urban legends, the good all unsolved mysteries, and of course, I love a good thriller book. So from time to time, I will kind of pop in here and do a couple of book reviews, as well. So if that is something that you guys are, I don't know, interested in, then I would suggest to hit that subscribe button, grab a snack, grab a drink, grab some coffee, whatever floats your boat, and let's get started on today's story, shall we? So today we're going to be talking about a couple of haunted places in North Carolina, and there was a lot I wanted to kind of like talk about and cover, but there's just too many places and a lot of information out there, and I don't want to make my videos like super long. So I just settled down to the top 3 ones that have really been interesting in, I guess I should say. And the first one is the Grove Park Inn. This is located in Asheville. I've never been to this hotel, I guess, before, but it has been mentioned in a couple of ghost books that I've got in the past. And it was built in 1913 by a guy named Edwin Willie Grove, which of course the hotel is named after him. Now, whenever it was built in 1913, when it opened its doors, from what I read, it was pretty kind of popular. It was upscale at the time and everything. So of course it got really its name out there all the way to Houdini has stayed there. F. Scott Fitzgerald. Yes. He has also stayed in that hotel, and also President Obama as well, which I'm like, oh, I would never have guessed Obama. Like, that's just kind of like, oh shit, that's kind of cool. But according to legend, one guest never left, and I'm talking about the Pink Lady. Now, her identity has been lost over, the years, but it has said that a couple of theories have been tossed out there that she was a local girl, that she worked at a surrounding house in that area at that time, and then she was having an affair with the owner of the house, and it's really unclear why she was there, but she was staying in the room 545, and I guess she from the balcony, she had fallen off the balcony in that room, like off that area, and she fell to her death. Now, whether or not that was an accident or something more sinister like murder, we have no idea. I guess it's really hard to kind of tell whether or not her death was investigated or not, because one, you can't find her name anywhere. There was a picture I found of her, but there was no name attached to that picture, and there was no information, again, as I said, whether or not her death was investigated, or if the police came and were like, oh, yeah, maybe she just, fell, slipped, something. So it's kind of unclear of what really happened, though. But unfortunately, people have speculated that she was pushed off of the balcony by her lover, whether he was breaking up with her and he was like, bye to you, or if she just fell off herself because maybe potentially her lover had ended things with her, and she was completely devastated about it, and so she unfortunately decided to end all things to her death, or if it was just she accidentally fell. I don't understand how you accidentally fall from a balcony, especially if there's like a railing, but I couldn't really get any kind of clear pictures of the balcony to that room, so I really can't say. But despite whether or not she was murdered or actually it was an accident, it is said that her spirit is actually like really nice and kind. She's also a trickster too. It has been known that throughout the hotel that her mist is kind of like a pink life, and pink like type of mist. And also too, if you do happen to see her apparition, it's said that she has been seen in a pink ball gown as well. So I'm gonna guess that she died in a pink dress. Now she is very attracted to like kids. Like it's said that if you are staying in the hotel and you have a kid with you, that she kind of attaches herself to kids rather than to adults. And we, of course, unfortunately, we don't have her name, so we don't know whether or not she was a mother or if she wanted to be a mom. We have no idea her backstory, which I think is incredibly sad to not know who this woman was, 100 years ago or so. But also with the trickster, she loves to turn off, I guess like she turns off and on the AC units, the lights. It is said that she likes to tickle Guess's feet, which is kind of like weird. So I'm like, if you ever stay in the room 545, look out for your toes. Hide your toes, because she likes to tickle them, which is, again, weird. But yes, so again, I've never stayed there. I've never even been to that location. So I don't know if you guys have or not, but it is said to be like very haunted. But that's the only kind of ghost that I have read that roams the hall still. So I don't know if you guys have been there. Is that true? Have you had any kind of experiences with it? Let me know. But also we're also going to stay in the Asheville area for the next ghost story, and I'm talking about the Biltmore Estate. And I feel like even if you don't live in North Carolina, I feel like a lot of people come to North Carolina, specifically Asheville, to visit this house. This house is like the biggest house in North America from what I read, and it sits on 8,000 acres of land. 8,000. And I have been here, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Like if you've seen photos on like Google, other people posting it on like their social media, like it's beautiful online, but like it is out of this world if you actually see it in person. Like there's like these like two lion stone type figures at the entrance of this huge mansion. It is absolutely gorgeous, and they have a winery on their lands. They have a lot of restaurants too. They also have this like huge garden as well. It's absolutely incredible. Like it's just beautiful. I cannot talk more. Like I cannot say more positive things, and it's just gorgeous. You have to kind of visit it though. But getting back to the story, the house was built in between 1889 and 1895 by George Washington Vanderbilt. Now, he was from New York, but him and his mother had visited the Asheville area on vacation one year, and he had fallen in love with the climate, the area, the lands, everything about this he absolutely loved. So he came from a very wealthy family, of course, so he decided to buy a bunch of land, and he had people that he had hired, of course, to build this incredible mansion for him. Now, his wife Edith also too was along his side for the ride eventually, and unfortunately George Vanderbilt he passed away in Washington D.C. before the whole house was like actually like built and things like that. So Edith unfortunately had to sell some land in order to get money to really make George's vision of this Biltmore house, I should say, to come to life. Now, of course, their saying goes, of course, when Edith had passed away eventually and everything like that, of course, visitors and even staff members have come forward with their own kind of ghost stories in the house. And a lot of things had happened in the house. Not really happened, I should say, but a lot of people lived in the house. They were very dedicated to the Vanderbilt as well. So unfortunately, whenever they passed away, they kind of didn't move on. They didn't kind of move on, so to speak. So there are still spirits around the house. Primarily, it's more so George and Edith too. Now, they were known for throwing very elaborate, fancy parties back in the day. So a lot of, not customers, a lot of guests that have visited the I cannot talk today, the Biltmore estate, they have heard like laughter. They had heard like glasses like clinking together, like cheers type of thing. Also, there was supposedly a story about a child drowning in one of the in one part of the home. Now, there was no record of any kind of kid drowning at the house, but whether or not that death was hidden somehow because they don't want to get a bad rap, like, oh, so and so died at the Biltmore estate. We're not too sure though, but it has said that whenever sometimes you're in the pool room, you can hear splashes kind of going on and like a kid crying. I never have experienced that type of ghost story, but other people have had come forward to kind of talk about it too. Also, too, George loved his library. Now, if you've been there and you see the library, it is goals. Like, I love books so much, and whenever I go in there, I'm like blown away. It's just absolutely incredible. Like, ceiling to floor, just full of bookcases and books. It's just gorgeous. And George also loved thunderstorms, gloomy type of weather. So a lot of the times, if you happen to be there at the correct spot at the right time, when it's raining outside, people have seen the apparition of George sitting down and also him standing and kind of walking around the room as well. And also, too, Edith's voice has been heard calling George from the library. Of course, she roams the hallway too because she loved the house. The house was, incredible. She didn't die at the house. She died, I believe, like somewhere up north. I think maybe like Washington, D.C. too, maybe New York. I can't remember where exactly though. But of course, she loved the home so much, even after death, she decided to kind of stay put. Same thing with George, which I think is kind of romantic. Sweet. Maybe I'm weird. I don't know. But I have been there twice. And the last time I was there was a couple of years ago, and I do remember, I don't remember what room it was exactly though, but whenever you like first go in, they kind of give you a kind of like a brochure type of like what kind of rooms that you'll be visiting and stuff like that, and kind of like facts about the room too, as kind of more so like a guide, And I do remember I walked into a room that was like red. It had like red like wallpaper. And I do remember when I walked in, I felt really like weird. Not like weird, like creepy, but like I didn't feel good. And I remember like my heart kind of like feeling off. Like it wasn't anxiety. Like I know what anxiety feels like because I of course have it though. But it was like a very off kind of like feeling. Like I kind of got like lightheaded, weak. It was strange. And then soon after I walked out of that room, I kind of felt better, which was kind of strange. But I don't know if it was just a coincidence of like I'm being in this amazing estate and in this particular room that I just something, I don't know if I ate something weird that day or what happened though. But I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was something paranormal. I don't know, but there was nothing really said about that room that I was in. It's gonna bother me. I feel like whenever I go back there, I need to like remember what room this was and kind of research that room to see if there's any kind of other stories about that room in particular. But going on to my next and last story, this I kind of qualify as like maybe an urban legend, not so much haunted because there's no spirits connected to this part of North Carolina. But I'm talking about the Devil's Tramping Ground. Have you been? Have you heard of it? I'm sure you've heard of it. Whether or not you've been, I'm not sure. This, though, is on private property, so I would not recommend going there unannounced unless you have paid to be there, which, side note, I had no idea that you could actually camp there. It's like $10 a night or something along those lines, so in my opinion, that's super cheap. But you can go there. It is, I believe, in the city Bear Creek, North Carolina. I've never heard of this place, but I guess it's like 50 miles away from Greensboro, and it's really hard to find because whenever you're on like the main road, I guess it's like miles into the woods off of a dirt path. So I don't know if that's true or not. I actually wanted to go there not too long ago, but the more research I did about it, I'm like, wait, where do you go? Even with a GPS, I will get lost. So if I don't have so you telling me, oh, it's like 13 miles down this, this road off of this street. I'm like, wait, where? I need someone intelligent, more, I guess, to like direct me where the fuck I'm going. But anyways, now this is about 120-year-old legend, give and take, of an empty circular patch of land. Now, it's about 40 feet in diameter, and you have all these like plants, these trees, this grass, all the way around this circular patch of dirt. Let's just call it what it is. It's a patch of dirt that, for whatever reason, nothing grows into this patch, right? Like nothing. And a lot of people that have camped there, they have put things in the circle, whether it's like a beer bottle, sticks, anything of their personal belongings, they put it in there, and right before their eyes, not right before their eyes, like the next day that they come back or whatever, they're camping there, it is moved like out from the patch and like on the outskirts of this circular patch of dirt. Now, no one understands why nothing really stays there. There was this one guy, I couldn't really find much about him. I think he wanted to be like anonymous, which, okay, cool, whatever. He had supposedly had camped in this patch of dirt overnight with his 2 dogs, and he said at nighttime that he heard these very like ghostly type of footsteps, I guess, and kind of like going around his tent, kind of like circling it in, maybe kind of investigating like who this is, what is this person doing here, type of things like that. Nothing else happened to him that night. I guess he was too afraid to kind of unzip his tent to kind of look. Whether or not it was a nocturnal animal or something more sinister, there's been a couple of theories that the devil himself stops these grounds, aka the devil stomping grounds, and maybe that's why he, there's nothing that can grow there because the devil himself is there and he's plotting his next evil deed. Who knows? Also, too, other 2 theories, more so realistic, I guess, is it was once upon a time an ancient meeting place for local Native Americans. I guess, maybe they had like a ceremonial dance there. Again, don't really know. And then also to this other theory has been linked to the Lost Colony. Again, no one really knows. I guess the area that was once called the Devil's Tramping Grounds was their Crow Nation. I don't know. So, but I'm like, okay, that's kind of interesting. But even, I'm trying to think not architectural people, but like other people, like scientists, I guess, that have been invited to this location to kind of do some dirt. Is it called dirt experimenting? I don't know. They got these samples of dirt to kind of study it and stuff like that to see it. They had, I guess, declared this dirt is like sterile, so nothing can kind of grow here. But I heard other things that, you know, that they have tested the dirt for samples to kind of see what's going on, but they comparing the dirt inside of the circle, you know, versus outside, there's no difference. So there's different kind of people saying different kind of things. No one can actually agree to what's kind of going on here, but my whole thing is kind of like, it's just weird. Like even like people that have, you know, stayed the night there or have moved or have like visited the area, I should say, they put their own like stuff inside the circle, and they kind of will go into their tent to kind of sleep, or they'll kind of go more so in like the woods to explore more, and then whenever they come back, it is completely moved. So I don't know. I'm very curious. I'm very curious to know what's kind of going on, and I kind of won't believe it until I visit there, or if I visit there. I kind of want to, but knowing my luck, some freaky ass shit's gonna happen. I'm gonna be like traumatized for like years to come. But you know, it's part of the story, I guess, right? I don't know. Have you guys been there? Excuse me. Oh god, I'm gonna die. But I followed this one girl on Instagram, and she's around that area, and she had taken a picture of this area, and she kind of mentioned in the comments saying that, like, you know, I didn't really try to put anything in the circle there, but whenever I got there, it was kind of very like eerie type of vibe there. It's kind of like something's off, but you don't know what's off there. Now again, she didn't know if she got that feeling because of the information that she knows or have heard about the area or what though. But I don't know. I definitely want to go, but whenever I do go, I don't want to go alone. So I don't know. Have you guys been there? I think that's the one that I want to know about the most out of all three stories. You know, I want to know about the Devil's Tramping Grounds. But yeah, so that's my couple of stories about good old North Carolina. And again, if you guys have any other kind of interests for me to kind of cover in North Carolina, let me know. But thank you guys all so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye!